The storms we have in marriages today are avoidable storms. They are storms that can be walked on. They are not storms that is there to swallow anybody. It is left for you and that person to have an understanding. And it is much more difficult when one person is ready to walk the path and the other one is just frustrating the effort. So that is why I said from the beginning, before you get married, make sure that you talk things over. Make sure that you people have some time to talk things over. You know his likes, his dislikes, and with that you'll be able to build up something. And for those that intend to get married, let me tell you, before I got married, there was a whole lot of storms. I went through a whole lot of storms. People went as far as going into Facebook, unearthing my pictures, and they were sending it, because when he came, it looked like a child's play. When he came 2019 to propose to me, I was not ready to say yes, because when I looked at the man that came to ask my hands in marriage, he wasn't looking like what I was looking for. Because all the years of my life, I've been praying to God, and I didn't pray to God for marriage. Funny enough, I never wanted to get married, because I just wanted a situation where I fulfill ministry. I got to that point because of a whole lot of, disappointment and bad experiences that one had had. So I didn't want to have anything to do with marriage. I just wanted to stay my own and just, do the will of the Father. But when he came, it looked like a film. And it didn't look like the person that should, come to me, or somebody that I should say, okay, yes, I do to. In fact, the day he called me was to go back to America the following day. He called me like today and said he's going to worship with us in our church. And I'm like, oh, you're in town? He said, yes. I said, okay, come. So when he came, I told my PA, I said, look out for somebody that is coming. He's coming with Suzu's car. In case the person come and I'm on the altar, just walk the person to the front. And she was like, and then the ushers were watching out for him. When he came, I must tell you the truth. When he walked in, I felt so disappointed. Yeah, the truth. I felt so disappointed. I was like, what is this one? Is this what we have been talking? Well, I didn't really even have it in mind that he was coming for marriage. I didn't even have it in mind that he was coming to propose. But somehow, he came that day, and I looked at the person that I'd been praying for years. He didn't look like what was sounding on the phone. So he came in, we were in the office and all of that. And then I kept giving my PA a sign. I said, please let this man just go so that I can have my peace. But funny enough, it turned out to be that it was my day for me to be, bought out of the singlehood market.
That was a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
That is it.
When he came, he asked my hands in marriage. I tell you, I struggled to even answer. I just told him, I said, don't worry, go, we will keep talking, because truly it was not from my spirit to say, yes, I do. So I kept asking God, are you sure this person is the person that you want me? So, and to cut the long story short, I turned down my wedding for 4 times because it was not appeasing my spirit. I was looking at it from the eyes of the human. I was not looking at it from the frame of what the spirit was showing to me. I didn't know that God was just putting me through a test. I didn't know. But thank God for sensitive people that are around us. My PA said to me, said, Mama, I wouldn't like you to look down on this person. I'd like you to give him a chance. And I'm like, please shut up your mouth. What do you know? You can take him now. What's that? So, but when I went back home, the Lord impressed in my spirit. He said to me, he said, what you are looking for, if I give it to you, you might not have peace. But this is what I have for you, where your peace will lie. And I'm like, what kind of thing is that one? So at the end of the day, he went back and he proposed. And I said, okay, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going like that. And we continued. But do you know the funniest part? My husband is the best dressed person.
Wow.
The way he dressed that day and what I saw after marriage.
Wow.
He now told me, he said, I was trying. So I could have missed out of the man that God kept for me because of my physical judgment. judging him from the physical attributes, I could have missed out from the marriage. But thank God for a sensitive servant, a sensitive daughter, a sensitive person that was with me, who said, Mama, don't look at his physical looks. Use your eyes of the spirit and weigh this man. And when I got back home, the Lord also spoke to me. Today, you've not seen my husband in person. He is the most handsome man.
Wow.
Best dressed. So if I had looked at that physical appearance, and the storms, where I had storms, was that people went as far as going into my Facebook to take my pictures when I used to go for mountain walks, go for mountain prayers and all of that, because it was like a film trick. How can somebody come back to Nigeria? There are people over there, and just come back to Nigeria and say, it is this woman I want to get married to. How is it possible? She must be using a means. There must be a juju that is tied to it. It's not ordinary. So they went to my Facebook, unearthed my pictures of those days I was looking very hungry and tired, unearthed it and was sending it to him and said, look at the person you want to marry. I've told you that she's working with some diabolical means. I've told you that she goes to visit all manner of stuff.
Enemies for progress.
But do you know, the more they were sending the picture, the more the love increased. And today, they that were scouting to be the person that he should look to, he is still with me. And the marriage is today established. So storms will always come. As a single lady, listen to me. The storms will always come. It's not everybody that will love you in the family. It's not everybody, not even your friends who celebrate you that you are marrying ahead of them. There are people around you that will look as though they love you now, but immediately, do you know that during my wedding, my three people that were supposed to be my chief bridesmaid stepped down.
Wow.
The prophecy had come earlier that the enemy was going to slum on the day of our wedding. And so maybe these were the means they wanted to use. Only God knows. The three of them, the first one I called said she was not around. Just like how many days to the wedding? I took a second person. The person even came and measured her clothes. Almost like about 4 days to the wedding, she opted out. Nothing. She just came out and said, there was no money, blah, 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 blah. I said, don't worry, I will pay for everything. She said, no, she can't do it. The third person that now came in, who was the third person that God actually instituted, was my PA. My PA, a night before my wedding, they pushed her into gutter. Wow. On a bright daylight like this, she stumbled into gutter that the wound on her leg was so big that if you pour a bucket of water, it will be entering inside. So they were just there to make sure that they frustrate the wedding. But because God was involved from the first day, the Bible says, he that watches over Israel neither sleeps nor slumber. He was watching over this wedding. He was watching over me, was watching over him. He flew into Nigeria with several people from America to come here to get married. It was not a thing that I just woke up one day and I say, oh yes I do, and it worked. There were storms, and one of the storms was people trying to rubbish my image, people trying to make him change his mind, even from his family. They fought me to a standstill. Yeah. So, but thank God that God instituted marriage right from the beginning, and thank God that there is a call over my life, and that I am a chosen one. I am the one he has appointed for a time like this, and that is the reason why he was able to see me through all that hurdles, and I was able to pass through it. So I didn't give up in the face of the challenge. So I must say to you, don't give up. These hurdles are there. They are there. Don't give up. People will try you. All manner of people will come against you. Even your mother-in-law might rise against you. Your father-in-law might rise against you. Your sister-in-law might rise. People will rise against you. Friends will turn their back on you, but don't turn your back on yourself. Don't ever give up. As long as you are pure, as long as you are clean, as long as you are righteous, Jesus will vindicate you. You will
Amen.
come out successfully. You will
Amen.
come out and everything will look as if nothing ever happened.